Hello everybody, welcome to Ethics Online. I am your professor, Andrea Diem, and this course is all set up for you online on Moodle. There is no on-campus meetings, there is no meetings throughout the entire 12 weeks together. This is a 12-week course, so it's considered an accelerated course. However, I think it's set up to where it's not too overwhelming. There's 12 weeks and there's 12 lesson plans, so one lesson plan per week. At the end of 2 lesson plans, or in other words, the end of 2 weeks, there is a Moodle quiz, exam, test, whatever you want to call it, and it is ready for you right here as you see for the first Moodle test. There's a study guide that can accompany it, and then if you go down and you see after week 1 and 2 you start week 3 and 4 work, and again another Moodle test, and then week 5 and 6. So the course is broken up into 2-week segments, okay, and I'll scroll down to show you that, okay, very quickly. And you'll see up here the important links to the course in terms of the very first week of the semester, or actually the very first couple days. I'd like you to introduce yourself to the class in the introduction forum. If you have any questions that are not academic questions, but questions that you need help with, like a link doesn't work, or where do I find this, or when is something due, that's called the help forum, and it's Ask the Professor question here. You're welcome as a student to join in and help answer, but for sure I'll be checking that daily. And then your classroom forum, and this is where all your main posts go up, and you're required to post a minimum of twice a week. So there's an essay post that would go up. You have a specific question. It's not just discuss anything, but there's a specific question based on the reading and the films to answer. And then I have what are called, this is the little part of the course that's a little confusing to students, but PI posts. And PI represents, is an acronym for the word participation, interaction, or effort. And it's a post where it's not a specific question I'm asking. It's where you want to share something with the class that's academic about ethics outside of the curriculum that I set up. So there could be a link that you want to share with us and explain the article and the summary of it and your position on it, or it could be a link to a film that relates to ethics, the latest research on something, or it could be you're starting a conversation about ethics that you want the class to discuss. So there's a variety of different ways to get PI credit, and I'm asking you to at least do 1 PI credit a week. And in addition, instead of just participating, you can have an interactive post here, and that's where you read another student's essay post, and you click reply and you write a response back to them. So there's a wide variety of a way for you to get participation, interaction, effort credit, and it's just 1 per week minimum, but I like to see more there if possible. And if you're a little confused, and I could see that being confusing, just go ahead and in the syllabus it walks you through all of that. So let's open up the syllabus real quick. And you'll see the syllabus is here for you. I did send this out to you. If you're new to the class, you didn't get it. But if you were in the class as of last week, I sent it out to you a week early. And hopefully you went through it. And you'll see there's the 10 links to go through. The key dates for the course, when everything is due. And so you've got professor information I'd like you to click through, description and outline of the course, the readings. Let's click on that real quick. You'll see that there's no book to purchase, rather it's online readings, and we'll be reading a variety of primary sources from very reputable names here. Richard Dawkins, Peter Singer, the Dalai Lama, Martin Luther King, Sam Harris, Friedrich Nietzsche. You'll also be reading secondary sources about Western philosophers here. We do cover some Eastern philosophy in this class as well. And so the good news is you can enjoy your $150, not for this course, but for yourself in that sense, or use it for other courses. Okay, so class policy, grades, and attendance, that explains that to you. And, basically I don't have time in this orientation to go through each of those links, but for you to go through them yourself and learn about the course. Okay, and going back here, so there's the syllabus. The virtual chat is, I'm required to have a 1-hour office hour for this course, and so I'm on the computer from Mondays 5 to 6. No absolute need for you to do this. It's just if you have an immediate question, you don't want to send it out as an email to me or post in the help forum, and you can always use the virtual chat at that time. Introduction forum is, again, introducing yourself to your classmates, and for you to respond to 3 to 5, ideally 5 classmates, if possible, and interact with them in the introduction forum for just the first week of the term. The help forum, again, is asking questions, and the classroom forum is the key forum for the class. And going down here to see what the class is like, you'll see it's broken up into the first 6 weeks, part 1, and the second 6 weeks, part 2. In the first 6 weeks, part 1, it's right here, part 1 of the course. And you'll see it's broken up into week 1 and lesson plan 1, week 2, lesson plan 2, week 3, lesson plan 3, week 4, etc. okay? And the first week is just an introduction to ethics. And every week will follow the same pattern. It will be professor's notes, required reading, the film or films to watch, and your post questions. So you click on those, and that will complete the lesson plan. And I give you approximate time. And lesson plans are generally about 3 hours. This class is short term, and I think, let me see up here, I think for short term 12-week course, it's supposed to be about 4.5 hours for the course. And this is about 3 hours. Plus, you have to, I also consider that there's a Moodle test to take, and so it probably will be about 4 hours a week and more interactive pie posts and stuff. So, but 3 hours for the core work and then another hour for interacting with classmates and taking your Moodle test. So again, the second lesson plan is on ethical heroes of the East and the West. And this is where we cover the Eastern philosophy. And then we have the history of ethics. And we have some of the main Western thinkers, Plato, Aristotle, etc. And then we learn about history of ethics from the East. And again, we study a little Eastern philosophy here as well. And then the origins of ethics, which is evolutionary ethics, and then neuroethics. So these are kind of, from my perspective, quite interesting topics. Hopefully you enjoy them. And then we move to looking at the second part of the term, and that's after the midterm week. It starts on week 7, and you'll see here part 2. And then we do different topics here. Let me open that up for you real quick. And you'll see here for week 7, we start bioethics and stem cell research and cloning. Week 8 is euthanasia and abortion. Week 9 is the environment. Week 10 is animals. Okay, we spend a whole week on that topic. That's a good one. Ethics and religion for week 11. And week 12 is ethics and atheism. And that is also a very interesting one. All of these topics, from my mind, are very fascinating. So hopefully you enjoy how I set the course up for you. Okay, and you'll see the study guides, Moodle exams, all of that's all ready for you. And you'll see at the end of week 12 and the end of week 6, the end of week 6 says midterm material, end of week 12 says final material. There's no midterm exam where it's all cumulative or final exam where it's all cumulative for the weeks prior. Rather, during that week, let me go to it. I'm sorry, I keep clicking around here. For part 1 midterm material, what's due is you respond to these 6 feedback questions, and then you also supply me, and through a website, and I'll explain that in a minute, but you supply me with your posts that you've done. You copy and paste them into your website, and you supply me with your Moodle exam scores. Even though I have access to those, I just want a backup copy, and your 6 feedback questions. Primarily, that's what you're giving me for that midterm time. And so it doesn't take a lot of time to put together. It's just a collection of all your work. And you do the same thing for the end of week 12. And why you create a website, I mentioned that website idea, is it's a way for you to storehouse all of your work for the term and have a nice, neat package. So when you submit me your work at the end of week 6 and the end of week 12, all you do is send me a link. And in the link, when I click on it, it opens up to your coursework, and it's very simple for me to read through and very simple for you really to put together. And how do you create a website? In the syllabus, it has an explanation of why you do it and how you do it and how it only takes a couple minutes to do it. It's right here, website creation. Really should only take you like 3 to 5 minutes to create. Okay, well, that's pretty much my orientation for you guys, and I welcome everybody to the class, and it should be a very good 12 weeks together. And if you have any questions, I'm available. Again, first thing to do is help forum or email me, and then the third option would be the virtual chat. That's, again, a lot of students have jobs at that time or family time, and it's hard for people to meet me online there, so it's not required. But the help form number 1, email number 2, and virtual chat number 3. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful semester. Thank you. Bye-bye.